finally get going after everything this off season, and the staff came here to coach, these players came here to play, and finally get a chance to do that.
Matt said he'll know how ready this team is once they hit the field. I mean, should they feel more ready right now before they even get out there?
Well, I think it's hard to. We haven't played together. They haven't had us as coaches before, and we haven't hit very much. We haven't had a lot of live scrimmages to know, so there are a lot of question marks. I'm the head coach, and I still have a lot of question marks. So, it's going to be good to finally get out there, and we need to make sure that we play extremely well and then continue to improve from there.
What will erase some of those question marks for you?
Playing well. Tackling on defense, not turning the ball over on offense, and not trying to do too much because of the anticipation of finally playing, because it's finally here, and now guys are going above and beyond what they're coached to do. We're going to have great composure.
What do you most think? This is your first head coach of this program that you talked so much about in that opening press conference. This was that job. What are you most excited about for game one, Lane?
Well, just to really get it going. It's kind of different than I pictured it that day because of everything we've gone through since then. So there's going to be a lot more of a relief to finally get to it than an excitement level, and to see our team come together, to see them play extremely well, to get a bunch of these freshmen in there and see what they can do and keep getting better, keep improving as the season goes along.
A lot of players that have been here before that you inherited talked about this was really a tough camp, one of the toughest ever. Was that by design, and if so, why?
Well, I don't think it was late. I think spring ball was, and maybe the beginning, but once we realized where our numbers were at and injuries started happening, this was not like what we put our kids through last year at Tennessee. So we have taken some positive out of it. We spent more time in the weight room because we haven't been on the field as much. We spent more time in meeting rooms to make sure that we're mentally ready, and so hopefully that will overcome the lack of physical practices that we've had.
Is there a feeling that you need your team to make a statement on Thursday to kind of start the Lane Kiffin era here in a second?
No, we need to win the game. We need to go over there, win this game, and get back 1-0. And all that stuff's great for the next day's paper and everything, but and then it's how many games you win. And that's what's remembered. So we need to win, and while we're doing that, stay healthy. And get back here for game 2 healthy.
Well, Lane, what would you consider a successful season?
Yeah, I never talk about numbers.
Or just in general, the programs.
There's too many variables to that. To say a certain number of wins, and all of a sudden you go through a rash of injuries, or
right.
You miss 2 kicks at the end of games, or they make 2 big kicks. So it's more about playing well. It's more about establishing toughness and discipline, what we talked about from the first time that we've got here. And that when you watch us, that you say, okay, those guys are really, really detailed in what they do. And they play with great discipline, and they play extremely physical. And then, we'll let the outcome come from that.
Will Holmes start?
Pardon?
Holmes?
Yes. We anticipate Clyde going, and hopefully he'll be able to play through some of the injuries that he has and play well for us.
You had to send the guys out today. Did you get the sense some of their heads were already on that plane flight?
Well, I don't think it was on the plane flight. I think that we've started this thing so early. Last week we went through a whole Hawaii week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices, and then we did it again this week, and then this was their second Thursday in a row, Thursday practice. So they weren't right. They were very, very comfortable. They weren't crisp, and so that's how you get beat.